So now let us see what is lattice enthalpy. When one mole of elements combine to form a compound in a crystal lattice, it is termed as lattice enthalpy. Right? So when the lattice crystal structure takes place for one mole of an element, and for that whatever the energy is required, it is termed as lattice enthalpy, which is denoted by U. And calculation of lattice enthalpy depends on the reaction cycle. It is not of one step reaction, but it is a complete cycle of the reactions, and which is explained by Born-Haber. So this reaction cycle of lattice enthalpy is also called Born-Haber's cycle. As per Born-Haber's cycle, there are various steps in the formation of ionic compound. As I just told, that formation of ionic compound is not directly just from one element react with other element and give the formation of ionic compound. But in that formation of ionic compound, that means the element undergoes the ionization to form ion, and ion when reacts with another ion gives a compound, that is ionic compound. But it consists of different steps. This was studied by Born-Haber, and he has given the cycle of the reactions, so it is termed as Born-Haber cycle. Here actually what happens, that is in this reaction, it does not take place directly in one step, but there are different steps, nearly 4 to 5 steps. Let us see that. Sodium in a solid form, that is the elemental form, first will convert to sodium in a gaseous form. So first step is the enthalpy of sublimation, right? Because solid directly converts to gaseous form, so it is sublimation. And from that gaseous form, it easily releases one electron, that is the ionization enthalpy. When electron is removed from gaseous element, then it is termed as ionization enthalpy. That is the second step. And so here now sodium element becomes sodium ion, Na+. Here on the other side, Cl2 undergo dissociation. Half of the dissociation, energy dissociation, that means to separate. So half Cl2 in the third step will come to only Cl in a gaseous form. And here now this Cl has to complete its octet, so will gain the electron. So in a fourth step, this removed electron, minus electron, will be gained by it, so it will be plus 1 electron, and chlorine will acquire negative charge and becomes chlorine ion. This Na plus after getting ionized and Cl minus after getting ionized combine together, that is to form the lattice, and so the fifth step gives us lattice energy for the formation of NaCl. So here what we can say, formation enthalpy. Enthalpy of formation is equal to step 1 sublimation enthalpy plus ionization energy plus dissociation energy plus electron gain enthalpy, and fifth is the enthalpy of lattice formation U. So all together will be the summation to give the formation of enthalpy, right? Here also the Hess law is supporting summation of all the heat change, right? So this is completely considered as Born-Haber cycle. And the next is enthalpy of neutralization. Neutralization, if we want to know what is neutralization, then when acid reacts with base, both will neutralize each other, and the reaction which takes place is called neutralization reaction. It is the enthalpy. Neutralization enthalpy is the enthalpy which change at when 1 mole of hydrogen ion, H plus ion, from an acid are completely neutralized by a base, or we can say 1 mole of hydroxide ions. 1 mole of hydroxide ions and 1 mole of hydrogen ion, when completely neutralize each other, then that is neutralization, and the change in the energy because of this neutralization is termed as enthalpy of neutralization. So what is strong acid? Actually we know, since 10th standard we know now what is strong acid, strong base. Those acids which completely dissociates its ion are strong acids, right? And mostly the dissociation takes place in aqueous medium and not in the solid. That also we have to keep in our mind. We should keep in our mind the Arrhenius theory. Any substance which consists of hydrogen in it and when reacts with water gives hydrogen ion, then they are Arrhenius acid. Any substance which contains OH and reacts with water and gives OH minus ion, then it is base. This is the Arrhenius theory. And when complete dissociation of the number of hydrogen present in the compound, here one hydrogen is present, here two hydrogen is present, and complete dissociation of hydrogen ion takes place, and here also complete dissociation of OH minus ion takes place, then these are termed as strong acid and these are termed as strong base. And whenever strong acid and strong base are undergoing reaction, definite neutralization takes place, and that will be a complete neutralization where the enthalpy of neutralization is fixed, because neutralization does not depend on Cl minus, SO4 minus 2, Na plus or K plus. It depends on the fixed amount of H plus and OH minus, and that is why its neutralization value is also fixed. When completely dissociated ions combine, then neutralization takes place, and thus H plus OH minus will neutralize each other and gives us H2O, that is neutral water. So strong acid and strong base when combined, the value of enthalpy is constant, which is minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole irrespective of other ions. If the weak acid and strong base reacts, then enthalpy will be less than minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole, because weak acid will not completely dissolve. For it, extra energy is to be provided. Weak acid will not completely dissociate, so extra energy in terms of minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole will to be provided, or we can say that energy is to be subtracted from it. And when weak base reacts with strong acid, then delta H amount of minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole energy is to be provided, so that weak base will get the support of the energy and will dissolve in strong acid. Here weak acid will get the support and dissolve in strong base. So dissociation of acetic acid CH3COOH, which is reversible, CH3COO minus and H plus is separated, which is 1.2 kilojoule per mole, right? So what is here? Delta H, it is fixed for neutralization, so it will be minus 57.5 kilojoule per mole, and here the dissociation energy is 1.2 kilojoule per mole. So actually for this acetic acid to dissociate, minus 55.9 kilojoule per mole energy is given, which will exist as COO minus and H plus by 1.2 kilojoule per mole. And one more enthalpy is now enthalpy of phase transition. Phase, again I want to clarify here, phase, that means change in state, either from solid to liquid, liquid to gas, or gas to solid. As per physical classification, matters are classified in three ways, that is solid, liquid and gas, and each of them can be converted from one form to other, which is termed as interconversion of states of matter. And how this interconversion is possible? It is possible because of the increase in the temperature. See here, generalization, we all know that if solid is given temperature or increase in temperature takes place, solid will convert to liquid, and liquid, if temperature increases, convert to vapor, that is gaseous form. So when enthalpy or energy change is going to be taking place, then it is used that phase transition will take place. Definitely the phase transition will take place. Here when we say enthalpy change or energy change, it is because of the temperature. If temperature increases, heat energy definitely changes. Heat energy changes, definitely one form will convert to another and another will convert to still one more state. Right? So it is said that enthalpy or energy is going to be used, that is phase transition will take place where delta H will be positive, and if it is positive, then the transition reaction will be considered as endothermic. Right? And now one more enthalpy, that is enthalpy of fusion. Fusion, that means solid converts to liquid, it starts melting. A change of enthalpy when 1 mole of solid changes into a liquid state at its melting point is termed as enthalpy of fusion. Melting point, that is the reaction takes place in the melting manner, and melting process is endothermic. It is termed as molar enthalpy of fusion also because it is related with 1 mole. It is denoted by delta H degree fusion, and here is the example of H2O in a solid form. When heat is given, converts to liquid. This liquid, when cooled, it converts to solid. So this is considered as reversible process. In forward reaction, heat is given, fusion takes place. In backward reaction, cooling is taking place, freezing takes place, right? And here delta H degree fusion is equal to 6 kilojoule per mole. So how we can say that in second, that is the backward portion, what happens? Liquid when cool gets solid, that means it freezes. So if in freezes, what happens? Freeze is the opposite of fuse. Fusion, that means it converts solid to liquid, and freeze, that means it converts liquid to solid. So opposite of fusion will be the enthalpy of freezing. So what is the enthalpy of freezing? Minus delta H fusion, because opposite of fusion, so it will be minus 6.0 kilojoule per mole. Right? So for this particular example, freezing enthalpy is opposite of 6, so it is minus 6, and we can say that delta H degree fusion is equal to enthalpy of liquid minus enthalpy of solid. And from this we can say melting is endothermic process where its enthalpy is always positive, right? So these are the enthalpies which we have gone in this chapter. Different enthalpies you are coming across, so please take care for all these enthalpy. And as I told, different enthalpy is having different definition by only few words, but there is a similar calculation in the enthalpies of enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant, right?